Hello everybody, it's Merlin here. What?
Whoa.
No, because there was already incest and attempted rape in this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that was masturbation? No, well... That was just masturbation.
All right. I'm gonna reel it back. Hold on. All right, everybody. We're doing a Merlin review of Alien Covenant, and actually we've got some kind of mixed feelings from the crew here. All right. Well, I'm gonna start. We'll just start this way. We'll go this way. All right, Bass Xevrix, tell me, what are your thoughts on Alien Covenant?
So, Alien Covenant, a sequel to a prequel that contains mass genocide, robosexuality, attempted rape, and 2.5 xenomorphs.
2.5. No, it's a neomorph.
No,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Don't forget
3.
Don't forget the neomorph.
There's 2 xenomorphs and 2 neomorphs.
Okay.
I like the neomorphs. The neomorphs look fun.
They were really cool.
They were adorable.
And then they got fucking what the fuck, man? What is this movie?
Could you please elaborate, please?
Okay, so first of all, you fucked up using James Franco for a trailer and nothing else, burning his corpse alive in the first 15 minutes of the movie.
You get some home movies. You get some home movies.
Like 5 minutes.
It wasn't 5 minutes.
Barely.
It was
like,
longer than
like
that.
a minute and a half of screen time.
He died in the second scene.
He died in the second
He wasn't
scene.
even the guy in the pod, because if you looked at it, that was a completely different
Yeah, it
actor.
was.
Yeah.
But he was in the
home
video
video.
footage.
The
It
whole
was like,
video.
hey guys,
30
I'll be in
seconds.
this movie except they can't afford me.
Yeah,
But
they got him for that and like a 5-minute trailer where he was sick and then they were all going into their cryopods. I remember the names of like 4 people.
all right. Any other thoughts?
If anything, don't go and like read into the reviews for this one. Go see it for yourself, because you'll either like it out of hilarity or you'll like it because of Michael Fassbender.
That sounds about right. All right, I like that. All right, Nick, tell me. You had some interesting thoughts about it.
Okay. So the movie is actually funnier than it is scary.
It really is.
And every step of the plot is actually just a mistake. So
I mean, not even on a regular horror movie.
but it looks great, so it's fine. I think it was okay.
Okay.
I don't know if I'd ever see it again.
Yeah.
Or purchase it. Or I'd probably just avoid it on TV.
You probably forget about it.
So
I'll see it when the entire
I think what'll happen is my parents will bring it up at some point,
Nick,
and I'll see it then.
let me ask you this: if you had to go over the entire Alien anthology and you had to watch them all against some massive box set, would you do it then?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably just out of like, you know,
Completion?
yeah, just that sense of like, you know, fulfillment.
That's about it.
Still correct.
Yeah, man, Joe.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go over.
Yeah,
Gonna go over to Dickey here.
Hey.
Dickey, tell me, you know much about Alien? You know about Alien, right?
Previous to this,
Yeah.
the only movies that I've watched were Prometheus and Alien vs. Predator.
All right. Well, then you still haven't seen the best one.
Burn in hell.
All right. So with virtually no knowledge of Alien, what would you think about this one?
It was funny. Like, it wasn't meant to be funny, but it was funny. I thought, going from Prometheus to this, Prometheus seemed a lot like
Plot based.
I was going to speak artistically, because
Yeah.
like there were a lot of really wide shots from what I remember from that movie.
Yeah, it was a very pretty movie.
This one was a lot more like the original Alien from the limited amount of that I've seen.
Yeah,
it
they
was
were
a lot more confined.
They were trying to emulate that claustrophobic ship. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was a really cool choice. I didn't think that showing the aliens as much as they did
Was a good idea.
No,
I agree
think that
with
was
you.
Aliens
awful.
are scarier when you don't know
When you're in the
where they
dark.
are.
That's what made it funny, was being able to see them.
And they're white. The white.
Yeah,
they're
they're
just
like-
they glowed in the dark. It was
When
like,
they were
okay.
tiny, when the neomorphs were just born and they were tiny, they were
They
fucking
were
adorable.
They were so
They were
cute.
so
Like when he
cute.
pops out of the guy's chest, like, "Aw, it's so cute." That's not how you should feel about a
He makes
xenomorph.
a little clicking noises. And you're like, I want 4.
I want my own little xenomorph.
That was a spider. She literally burned down her house
Oh, man.
to kill a spider.
When you
Yeah,
When
we're
you
gonna,
burn
we're gonna have
down
to
a
go over the
house
plot
to get
here.
rid of the
Like,
Yeah, I guess we probably should at some point. I might do a little more afterwards. But
Yeah.
any other thoughts, Dickey?
Nah, that's all.
All right. Well,
That's all me.
Spores in the lungs.
He's
Oh
good.
my god.
The spores in the lungs.
Okay.
All right. Well,
The spores
Tiefling,
in the lungs.
Tiefling,
I'll
you
go-
got some hate. I want to hear it.
Yeah, because everything about this movie that they expected me to like was terrible.
Okay, like what?
Like, I can name 2 characters, and both of them are the same person.
They're the robots.
Yeah.
The robots are the best
David and
characters.
William.
Okay.
And T for
Walter.
Tennessee.
Walter.
I don't give a shit. I don't care.
David and David too.
David and other David. Look, like, half of the characters die after 2 seconds of being on screen. They don't matter and are, like, the most idiotic horror movie.
I'm gonna go take a pee.
Characters.
I'm gonna go off the group. Even though I saw 5 people, I'm gonna go off the group.
Even though
Hey,
everybody died, let's
let's
go off and have sex.
Let's go to this planet. We shouldn't go to this planet. I'm going
that
to this
was a
planet.
good one,
We
dude.
shouldn't
I
go.
love
We,
that scene,
we shouldn't.
bro.
We shouldn't go to the storm. Everyone says we shouldn't go to the storm. You got to think about the 2,000 lives
Yeah,
on the ship.
okay, no.
Fuck everybody.
We gotta go over the plot step by
Okay,
step,
all right, hold-
because every step was a mistake.
All right,
and I'm not
Nick,
kidding you.
Nick, go over the plot. Summarize Alien Covenant for me.
Okay. So first off, oh fuck, what happened first? All right, they started the movie. They introduced David. That was cool.
Prometheus
Gotta-
flashback.
Yeah,
They
that
introduced
was
David's
fine.
backstory because David was introduced in
Prometheus.
Step 2.
Step 1 of being wrong was David's creator was a fucking dickhead.
Well, we knew that
He
already.
was a giant cunt to somebody that was ridiculous. David's superior to you, but let's be a
Well,
giant douche.
to be fair, that was the impetus for him,
Yeah,
like, you
that
know,
was-
being the bad guy for these
I
movies.
know,
Yeah,
but
like, that was fine.
We can't not call that a mistake.
Well, because he's a bad person.
Yeah, like,
Waylon
that
is
was-
like an asshole.
Yeah,
like,
like, that was fine.
I'm
That
gonna
wasn't
mi-
a problem
Like, that was
for
the most interesting part of the plot was the
Yeah.
whole David character.
It was
Look, I'm not
okay.
saying that it was bad.
But his
It
the
was
character
good, but on like a character by character making shitty decisions point.
first one,
that
scene
was the
one.
first scene one terrible mistake. Not like
Though to be in that defense of that scene, that actually does help explain why he was such a dick and infecting people in Prometheus. I was like, why is he like trying to kill the crew members?
I guess this first scene was kind of like an apology for not correctly explaining why David.
So, in all honesty, this movie explains some things about Prometheus better,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really
This
explain everything.
All right,
Series
All
of
right, keep
Step
going.
2 of
Nick.
the plot.
Keep going.
There's like a weird burst storm while they're trying to collect energy or whatever. It's fine. Kills the crew, kills like 27 other people off screen. 47 other people off screen and like some baby somewhere, it says.
By the way, just to briefly detour, talk about malfunctioning on that pod that it can catch fire from inside.
Okay,
Who
look.
decided that thing?
Look,
No.
if the pod malfunctions, it explodes and lights on fire from the
Is there a
inside.
gas leak?
Is there gasoline inside of this shit?
And nobody.
It was an electrical fire. It was a like fucking force storm.
But there was
They
no,
couldn't
but there was no like internal like water thing. They had to, trying to bang on it to get in. It's
They
like
needed
this
to,
was-
couldn't
they
break it
needed
with
to
the
rip out
axe.
the jaws of life to like fucking like rip it open. They still got there too late.
oh my god.
There was
Fucking
one
incinerated.
malfunction from like
All right, guys,
metal.
that's
guys,
they are talking about the first
we
like 5
keep
minutes.
going. We're gonna go on for like 4 hours. All right. Step 2. All right. Captain's dead now. Second captain, backup captain, is conflicted about whether he's going to be a good captain. Fair. All right. He's in charge of like 2,000 people.
Yeah.
The lives of 2,000 people. That's fair. And he goes, fuck it. I'm just going to take charge and not listen to anybody.
You hated that character.
Oh
so much.
my god. I wanted him to die at every scene.
giant.
The captain was pretty bad.
I see you're shivering. It is pretty chilly out here.
I told you guys.
So,
Oh,
No, I'm not. I'm
continue the review
In the car.
at Joe's
Joe's
at
house.
Merlin's house.
Let's do that.
All right, we're going to cut off and...
Nick, where were we?
Alright, so plot part number 4 that was a problem. They went out and fixed the fucking ship, which is 100% reasonable. But they received a weird transmission from an alien planet. And what do they decide to do? Fucking investigate. So they look it up and they're like, wow, this planet is 100% habitable, way better than where the fuck we were going, and it's only 2 weeks away! Not 7.5 years or anything. And why didn't they find it before? Who fucking knows? It's here now! So they decide to go there. And the co-captain's like, that's probably not a good idea, we should stick to the plan. And the captain's like, fuck you, I'm in charge!
He's like, okay, I really appreciate everything. It's noted in the log officially.
Yeah, yeah.
Not give a fuck about what you
yeah,
have
and
to
it was
say.
just like, wow, okay, you're an idiot. And
on the point of the random ghost transmission,
yeah.
if this were a D&D game, and your DM looked at you straight in the eyes and was like, "Yeah, you get some interference in your helmet."
And it's a song from Earth.
It's a song from your home planet that you know.
And you know there's like no Earth colony out here.
There's no Earth
And
colony.
you're halfway through your fucking journey. Yeah.
What do you do? You continue on a journey because I'm not a fucking idiot.
Like,
We're not gonna go. Yeah, like let's go talk to the aliens when we have 2,000 people on board. Let's just do it. Fuck it. We're scouts now, not a colony ship.
We're a colony ship. Oh, you mean we can go scouting? Are we prepared for that? No. Well.
Oh god.
No,
All right. Mistake number 4. They get to the planet. They land on the planet. It's really cool. Oh wait, I forgot. They decide to land in the middle of a fucking hurricane.
An ion storm.
An ion storm, aka a fucking super hurricane.
One, when they make it to the planet, they do not wear helmets. They don't.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
no helmets.
It's fine.
No, they know the
It was
atmosphere.
in the, it was
they know
in the middle of a
atmosphere.
habitable zone. They
That's
knew
not,
it was.
that's not the point.
If you're on an alien
because-
planet, have some facial covering until you like have really thoroughly analyzed the
Yeah.
air.
Yeah.
Number 2, they just start smoking. The second they land down, everyone's smoking.
What if there's
Everyone.
methane in the atmosphere?
Yeah. I mean, that was a problem. No, I think the biggest problem was when they started walking around. They're like, "Hey, this is wheat. Where the fuck did this come
This
from?"
is human wheat.
It's fine. It's definitely cultivated.
It's cultivated wheat.
cultivated. It's
Yeah.
old. It's not red. It's not fresh,
Yeah.
but it's definitely been planted.
Yeah, and they're like,
Let's keep on going.
yeah, it's
no
fine.
big deal.
And let's
So many red
let's
flags.
actually walk these 8 kilometers on foot. Not take any of our cars with us that we just left up on our big ship.
So many cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not used.
They're like 90 cars that they didn't.
Or like use the cargo ship, or why don't we just fly a little bit closer and land closer? Why don't we fly over the thing we're gonna go investigate and see what it looks like from above?
Hold up. Speaking about vehicles, what happened to that rover?
Who fucking knows?
There are a couple
Raleigh?
of
Yeah,
Wally.
Remember
Oh yeah, they said that Wally was.
yeah, he was
Yeah,
there.
he's gone.
So they get there, they find a big alien ship. They decide, let's poke around a little bit.
They find a big alien ship that has topography going inside of it. That's a sign you don't go in.
Yeah, it's crash landed. It's broken a bunch of shit.
And honestly, to go off that, I know that this is alien, and the audience kind of knows enough about it, probably.
Yeah.
But these people find this weird ass ship with all these giant spacesuits and all these dead corpses everywhere, and they're like,
Yeah, this is
no. I'm not getting. We're not even at the dead corpses yet.
But
Alright,
the
so they
ship
start-
itself, though, they don't question it at all.
So they
Yeah.
start walking towards it, and then their scientist lady's like, "I'm going to study the planet. You guys go
Yeah,
ahead."
she's like, I'm going to study
Oh
the
yeah,
soil and
yeah.
stuff.
She stops halfway through and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do ecology here. I'm gonna sit here and by myself." And the guy's like, "Well, I'll give you a guard. I'll get you, Jerry, go with him." Like, fuck, you, just some dead guy.
And the first bad decision from a crew member comes up soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, obligatory horror movie.
I'm gonna go take a
I'm gonna
piss.
go take a pee alone on an alien planet.
It's not even. He didn't even need to go pee. He wanted to go smoke and listen to music.
Yeah, he sat down. He
And
smoked.
and he's like walking over these obviously weird alien egg like ball things, and you'd think like
I don't
it just
think he
looks
noticed
weird.
him.
But that's the thing. If you're on an alien planet, be observant. You know there could be an evil alien
Dude,
snake
don't
or
worry.
something.
They're the Earth's best scientists, best astronauts. Okay,
Like
how
in
can they
Prometheus.
possibly make them these mistakes?
Prometheus logic again.
Oh god.
Morons.
To play devil's advocate here, the person that was collecting samples and everything, it was kind of her job. Granted, it wasn't a good decision to hike out all that way. When you landed in water.
Yeah,
You were taking
yeah,
water samples.
Yeah,
and
I
you
know.
landed in
She was looking for a
water.
pond, though. She was trying to find bacteria that was growing. She was
She
doing
wasn't
an ecology
doing
test.
That
It
is
actually
fair,
made
I
sense.
guess.
It was fine.
Here's the problem with the way that she did it was that she sprung it up on the group and didn't make it clear that I'm coming along to take these things. I'm going to need guards. Like we're going to need to do this actually and scientifically. It's like,
She should have just waited until they were
The whole
like,
thing
this
wasn't
is cool.
planned at all.
yeah, none of it was planned.
Just
I
fucking
honestly
thrown
would have
out there.
said, "Fuck you. Here's a fishing rod. We landed in water. Go fishing."
That would have been smarter.
They had 2
Yeah.
whole weeks. They didn't re-enter hypersleep.
No,
had
they didn't.
2 whole weeks to plan this shit out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, technically
And
it
then,
says
you
2
know,
weeks.
they
Yeah.
didn't like
Nothing.
wait out the storm or anything, or like.
Let's
I
go.
don't know. It
Yeah,
was dumb.
It was dumb.
All right, so they start exploring the alien ship. They start finding corpses from old crew ships from Prometheus, and they're like, this is fine. Let's keep going. Like, what the fuck?
One guy,
They find a dog tag of a human scientist that was on that ship,
Hanging from
and
the
don't
ship.
question
Guys,
it.
guys,
And a
guys.
picture.
Guys.
And a picture?
Yeah, and a
Yes.
picture
I didn't see the
of a
picture.
known lost
Scientist from Prometheus.
scouting ship.
And she's like, oh, the
Oh.
scientist from Prometheus?
Yeah, and one
Like-
was like, yeah, here's this scientist that nobody knows what
But here's
happened
the
to
thing.
her. She was pretty
There's a
prized
guy
and
that's
whatnot.
like, man, this is a weird thing. Let me flash my light onto it. Let me poke it. Oh man, there's some spores coming out of it.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
And he can literally see the spores
know.
in front of him. Like,
I know. So
To
these, so yeah. Go
Sorry.
There's a lot.
On to the dog tags. They also found Amelia Earhart.
They did?
they did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a bad joke.
Fine, dude.
It's okay.
Burn
It's
in
okay.
hell. Yeah. So you know they like the first fucker who decided to just take a smoke rig, and he starts to die.
Did bring with a cool shot, though. That was a cool shot.
Yeah.
Like, when the virus got
Yeah,
him.
it was a cool shot. I really liked it. But yeah, the movie looks great. That's the only good part about this movie. But the fucking like, what?
The CG
We'll
was
get to
bad.
that.
Yeah,
We're
that's fine.
still
We'll
going
get
to
to
the
that
plot.
later.
We're still
But,
going to
like,
the plot.
Yeah. So the first guy starts dying, and the one scientist that's the only one that's with him is like, guys, he's dying. Guys, he's dying. Let's
Oh.
go back to the ship.
Like,
What?
the people that are
Oh.
dying, they look gray as hell.
They're
and,
clearly
like-
dead.
Clearly going to
They're
die.
clearly dying. Like, should we run quarantine procedures? No, it's okay. It's fine. Just get him back to the ship. Okay. Then when he's
No,
on the
he's
ship,
spitting up
she's like,
fucking,
she's
like-
like,
Black goo.
Like,
put,
blood.
put,
this
put these
shit's
gloves
blood.
on. Put these gloves on. But he threw up on me already. Don't even worry about quarantine procedure. I don't want to get sick either. And she's like, okay. And then she leaves and locks the door because she's not an idiot.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, this dude's gonna die. I have no idea what the fuck's going on.
No. You skipped the part where she was just like looking around, trying to help the guy, took his shirt off, looked at his back, and was like, "Oh my god, he's squirting blood out of his spine!
Yeah.
What the fuck?"
And then she, the
And
dumbest
then
thing,
she
she goes
locked
up and
the
try.
door.
But the thing is, though, she also went up to try and hug him, I guess to make him feel better, even though he's
No, that was a
spazzing.
different girl.
That was a different.
That
one.
was the one she locked in there.
Well, the scientist, the one guy's what? That was dumb, and the thing pricks her with the spike, and I'm like, well, what did you expect was going to happen? The guy's gonna
No,
combust.
then she locks
Yeah.
the door. And they're like, let me out.
Yeah, and then she grabs a shotgun, and it's like, okay, you grab a shotgun.
Then she
That's pretty
runs into
good.
the
She runs
room.
back in. They're all begging to leave out, and then he explodes, and it's pretty gory. He doesn't actually explode. He vomits the dude out.
The
and
out
it
of
Well,
his-
was-
no, that was the second one.
Like the first one explodes
From out of his
dude's
back.
spine.
Oh yeah, he just
And
kind of
then,
like
like, flops over
kind of like
backwards.
flops out of his back. It's really gross. But
And then like she like the person that's locked in there like grabs a knife to try to fight it and then
Oh,
it jumps
God.
on her face and she's swinging the
yeah,
knife
she's
out.
swinging the knife in front of her like this, and he's on his face. It's like, god damn, you fucking ass.
You have another arm. Like,
I don't know. It was pretty bad.
But then
I mean,
the person with the
she got a
shotgun
good kick in.
the person with the shotgun rolls in, slips on the blood, shoots the ceiling.
Yeah, everybody's slipping
tries
on
to,
blood.
Yeah, they
Tries
have it
to
twice.
leave. Tries to leave. Her foot gets caught in the door and broken.
And she just starts shooting the shotgun everywhere, trying to hit this guy.
And then she shoots
And
the
th-
canister and blows up
She
the
shoots up the oxygen canner, and then it blows up.
And
And it's just like, okay, that's 5 people dead now.
Oh man, we forgot the part where they should have turned back when they found out where the signal was coming from, and just should have left immediately.
It was coming from like this weird
the center of the console and from
It
the
was coming
Prometheus.
from the ship, yeah.
The alien ship. And they see like the horrible, like weird, crazy doctor losing it, and they're like, that ominous like feeling should just be enough to say, I have seen enough.
Nah.
Can we
Yeah,
go
yeah.
back and tell somebody
I agree.
because this is the wrong planet. This is the wrong planet.
No, we're going as fast as we can. We got to carry the guy that's obviously
but
dying.
at that
and-
point, though, they couldn't have done anything about it because everyone was already sick.
True.
Yeah.
So I'm not like, that's not really a bad decision on their part. I think it was fine. But it didn't lead to anything else bad
Working.
happening. So, yeah, the ship blows up. It becomes nighttime because, they landed in the evening. Because, why not? Let's land in the middle of a super hurricane in the evening.
In the night.
Just because we can. And, yeah.
Oh, that's
so then,
right. Then we get to everybody's favorite character.
Oh, no, the second guy explodes. and he actually vomits up the dude.
It's like a fucking
if you want to get that image in your head, it's like a baby being born.
Except from your
That's
mouth.
what that's what it's like. That's the closest representation.
Imagine Demon King Piccolo vomiting up the egg, but it's gorier.
And attached to an umbilical
But the egg is a human fetus.
And
So
Yeah,
basically, if
yeah.
Dragon Ball was R-rated.
yeah.
That was pretty bad.
Oh god, that's horrible.
If Toriyama didn't have,
I don't know what number we're on, like 9 now. Just bad decisions.
I think I'll keep count when I go back.
Yeah, so they like, yeah. So the two aliens show up. They start shooting at them. You know, 2 people die randomly. I'm not sure how. I think one got stabbed in the face.
Yeah.
One got shot. I know.
They
one
eat
got
the robot.
tail-whipped.
They eat one of the robot. Guys.
Yeah, and one of the aliens charges down the wrong girl, and the alien's like, "That's my hoe," and just punches him in the face and loses his hand because he's made of acid. That's how that works. I don't know, like.
And their one saving grace.
Yeah, they're
is the
apparently
Exo
immune to fucking
Stranger.
bullets because they were getting shot the entire
No,
time.
he wasn't immune. He was just dodging the fuck out of him. Nobody
No,
was a
he was
good
getting
shot.
he was getting hit with bullets. You
Yeah,
could
they
see the
were-
bullets like not doing anything to those first couple.
There were AKs and shotguns, and they clearly weren't doing anything to these aliens.
Even though in any previous movie, that's kind of what you need.
Yeah,
It didn't
they
even matter.
I
They were
don't know.
small.
It was pretty
The
bad.
flamethrowers were pretty
Yeah, the
Yeah.
flamethrowers were the big thing, but I guess they didn't have any on the ship for some.
No.
That's fair enough. This was before
That's
the first
reasonable.
Alien movie, so like they wouldn't have known.
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
like,
all right,
quality
First
shit.
Alien movie, they didn't like.
well, to be
Yeah,
fair,
specifically have
in,
a flamethrower
in the
for
fir-
defense.
in the first movie, the reason they had the flamethrower, I guess, was because they were a mining vessel,
Yeah.
so they wanted to like melt
Slag.
shit. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like,
Basically, they should have had.
yeah, it was a
flamethrower
colony
because they were
ship. There was no
equipped the
reason for them
same.
to have a
A
flamethrower.
flamethrower.
Yeah,
No,
like,
they only have
ice.
flames in the
Melting
canisters
ice.
in their sleeping pod.
yeah, that's the only place it's a fire hazard around
A
here.
lot of people burned to death in this movie.
Just cart around one malfunctioning.
I mean, at least 4 people did. Actually, 54 people did, I guess.
All the people in the ship.
Yeah, the other canisters.
Yeah,
The
like
sh-
there were 47 or 49.
Yeah,
just
47
completely unnamed off-screen deaths.
From
Don't
those
forget all the
first
fetuses,
10
dude.
minutes.
Don't
Oh,
forget
and
all
the fetuses.
Oh, and the fetuses.
And
yeah.
one fetus.
No, there was a lot.
No, it
of
was one fetus.
The
No,
one
no,
at the beginning.
No,
and
they were
then-
carrying a bunch of fetuses too. Remember? To impregnate
yeah,
women.
that's right.
Yeah.
Man, that was the biggest waste of a high profile name that
James
since Bryan Cranston died in Godzilla.
I mean, it was just a 30-second clip that they probably stole off of, like, his Twitter. That's what it looked like.
They actually had him do that because he was in
I
a
know.
5-minute trailer.
And it explains why Danny McBride's in this because he's friends with James Franco. He's like, hey, you want to
Yeah.
be in the Alien movie? I got a role in it. I'll do a cameo for you. That's fine. I'm James Franco. They can't afford me.
It was whatever.
All right.
I don't know. And then so then a strange dude shows up, shoots off a super flare that scares
Solar flare.
Solar flare.
Yeah, it scares the
Tien
shit out of the
Tien shows up.
aliens. I don't know. I guess they don't like the sun or something.
They're animals. Fire, light.
I don't know. It was weird. They like sizzled. Like I don't know if you remember that. Like they shot it in the
sizzle?
air and they like sizzled like it was burning their skin. It was really weird. Yeah.
Huh, I thought they just ran
No,
away.
they were like sizzling.
Yeah, and
By the
they-
way, I know. Hold on. I know we're going to skip ahead, but just byproduct. I know they're trying to make this guy out to be the villain, but he does a lot of things that contradict his goals
Yeah.
What is-
Yeah. He's really weird.
from his introduction.
He's playing the long game.
He's like
He really is. He's
like come
Eisen.
with me.
He's doing an Eisen.
He's like, yeah, the guy shows up, he's like, come with me, and it's like, what do you know? It's another fucking robot.
It's Prometheus cameo time.
Yeah, Prometheus cameo. So they go back to his place, which is really just a fucking city that looked like it's been nuked.
Because he nuked
Because
the
he nuked
engineers.
Because he nuked it,
Because
yeah.
spoiler alert.
Spoiler
he fucking
alert.
Nuked it.
Yeah,
Because David is evil.
yeah.
Because his dad was an asshole.
I don't know.
David's
So
evil
they
as
go
shit.
back there, and
David's
they're
evil
like,
because his dad was a douche to him.
oh, shit, what happened? What was the next bad decision?
The next bad decision was everyone going their
Go
separate,
separate ways in the dark.
Oh, yeah, everyone started splitting up. Someone wanted to, like, the one girl that got shot was like, oh, maybe I should clean up myself.
I'm gonna poke my
Yeah, that's
cut open
fair.
my bullet wound.
She's gonna pour iodine in her bullet
Oh,
wound.
do you remember? And when they were like literally trying to kill the one alien, the scene before, and they were in a circle shooting each other, and the one guy gets his jaw shot off.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
Oh,
what?
No, he didn't get shut off. One
He
of
got
the
it ripped off.
yeah, one of the
Alien.
neomorphs
Slashed him?
Slashed it
Because like
off
it
with
was
his
so
tail.
fast, it
Yeah.
looked like someone shot off his face. So
I know, it was
It
really
looks like
quick.
they shot each other.
But to be fair, they were in a circle shooting at each other, so I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, yeah. It's,
But
there's,
going.
so she goes off. She tries to clean up her wounds. She dies.
head gets cut off.
Horribly.
A xenomorph, just rips her head off, and then starts eating her spine. That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
David shows up and is like, "This is my pet horse," or some
we
shit.
no, we're missing. All right. Then the one guy split off and was like, "I'm going to set up communications in the middle of the super hurricane
The guy's like,
on the roof.
on the roof."
the guy's like, how long does the storm go on? Days, weeks, months. But
months.
keep trying to reach him.
Yeah, go ahead. Keep trying. Don't
Stay
stop.
on the rain. Just keep trying.
Yeah, it's fine. And yeah, so
No,
David goes downstairs. He's like, "Hey, yo."
Hey, Walter. How you doing?
Oh yeah, then the Walter scene where he
There's
teaches.
a lot of robosexuality.
And we're going to talk about sucking and fingering and blowing and all the wonderful Ridley Scott sexual stuff. Because what's an alien movie without tons of
What's
sexual?
an alien movie without Michael Fassbender trying to fuck himself?
Dude, I like Michael Fassbender, but his ego, like,
His ego's pretty.
though he's good. He does play two different characters that are both robots, and that is impressive.
Yeah.
He played
And you
Superman
can
and,
tell the difference,
Zod
too.
in this movie.
He played Superman and Zod in this movie. You are correct.
It's true.
I was getting much more of a Captain America vibe than Superman.
It's Superman.
It's Man of
Superman
Steel
with
Superman.
it's Superman with Lois Clark and Zod.
Yeah, I don't know. So there was a scene where the two robots are like, trying to like, I don't know,
They're trying
to out ego each other. It seemed like
It's like no. Well, the guy's
No,
kind of fascinated by himself. We'll talk about that.
I don't know.
That's more breakdown.
Yeah, the whole point of the scene is just to explain that the one robot can create and the other one cannot.
One robot is too human. The other robot wants to be human, but he's
Yeah,
meant to be
that was
subservient. Whole theme.
Yeah, that was the whole point of the scene.
I thought that was a really good
There were a
interaction.
couple other
That-
scenes
those-
to reinforce
Those
it.
are the good
but that
parts.
was it.
Like in
Those are the
Prometheus,
only good
the
parts.
David parts are the good parts.
Yeah. So, all right. So David goes downstairs and is like, "Hey, I'm gonna check out what happened to her because it's been like an hour." He goes down there and he finds a xenomorph and he's like trying to like,
Bond with it.
yeah, he's trying to like,
He's successfully bonding with it.
yeah, it was weird. I don't know if he was successfully bonding with it or
He was successful. He was like, blow on a horse's nose and it'll be yours forever. He blew on its nose, it blew back.
Well, he wasn't
And it was
dead.
like, wait, no, just don't shoot it.
And then
bang,
and then
bang,
Captain
bang,
Billy
bang.
Crudup's like, fuck
yeah.
that.
Captain was like, "This isn't right," and came back and was just like,
And then he
shot
got-
at death.
David, tell me what's going on.
Then
Okay.
David facehuggers the shit out of him.
Yeah, the
Tricks him.
David lures him to a trap, and he's like, "Yeah, they're harmless. They're
And
fine."
then, spoilers, we learned that the person behind creating the xenomorphs was David, because he hates humanity, basically.
Because
Yeah.
David's dad was a dick, and that's like the worst explanation for an alien race.
I mean, like that was the only explanation they gave, though, which felt really bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, there was so much about, like, all the whole engineers from Prometheus where literally that's where we want to get the answers. And what's the sequel? They just kill them all.
Yeah,
Okay.
He committed Hitler to them.
he committed a Hitler.
yeah. That's just dude. Don't do
Like, I mean, it was a cool scene, but they were like this entire like Roman society, and I would have enjoyed a movie based on that.
And figure out why they hated humanity so much and made these weapons to kill us.
Yeah,
But no.
David made him blew everyone up, and
that. David perfected.
David
that.
wanted to play God.
Which, I mean, I guess, like, thematically it still works with the engineers ultimately had in store for us, but it just, I think it would have been more interesting if we learned more about them. But, you know, then again, maybe doing a prequels to Alien wasn't such a good idea to begin with, because the mystery is what makes them
Prequels-
scary.
Prequels just don't seem like a good idea.
Because you can make up your, it's never anything as good as, it's
modern prequels.
It's-
Don't seem like a good idea.
It's just it's hard to do that because you get this image in your mind of what you want, and it allows for a lot of possibilities, and that's the fun part.
Yeah.
And really, like I said, and I've always said this, the scariest thing about the aliens is you don't really know what they are. They're a horrible alien thing,
prequel I can think that actually worked was the Old Republic.
and that's still a video game though, an expanded one.
Yeah.
All from stuff that doesn't directly connect to the movies.
Yeah.
So
I think this would have been a better prequel if it had been a series. If it had been like a TV series. Because then you
can
could
see
hold
that.
your suspense longer. You could build things up like slowly or fast as you wanted to. And you could get a lot more done.
I think it would have been fine if the plot made sense. I think that was the biggest problem with the movie is if like they kept trying to like throw little tidbits of story at you randomly, and you're trying to piece it together, in the middle of an alien movie, and it's just like, I don't even care.
It's an alien.
Well, because the thing is, you know exactly what's going to happen because they're just doing the first Alien again. Is what they're doing.
Yeah,
which in theory is
Ripley Light, basically.
she was Ripley Light.
Yeah.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like these characters were all bad. There were some decent ones.
Yeah.
But the thing
What
was
were
like
their names?
Tennessee
Tennessee
Walter,
was
and,
Big T.
David, Walter, the two robots, Tennessee, which was Billy, that was Danny McBride.
Yeah.
Davis.
Billy Crudup was Faith Captain, who was bad.
Yeah.
What was the girl's name? Who was
Davis.
Davis? Okay,
Davis.
thank you, Davis.
Yeah.
James Franco was named like
James Franco
Jonathan
was
or
Davis's
something like that.
husband.
There are a lot more people.
There
There
were
were 15 crew members.
And you know what? I don't think they named half of them. I think I remember like Rose.
There's 16
What do you-
From
characters.
his last name?
Yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about.
There were the gay Vikings. I don't think.
Yeah.
they ever
Oh yeah, the
did.
two Vikings that were the first to go,
Yeah.
that breathed in the stuff. I mean,
No,
really,
no.
No,
First.
the gay Viking's husband died, and then he had he had the chest burster that infected them when they got back to the ship.
Look,
Yeah.
Because spoiler alert,
people die.
everyone dies.
People die. Pretty much, yeah.
Except for two people.
David wins.
David
Spoiler alert,
wins.
David wins.
David always wins, dude.
Like once again, the most interesting characters were the androids,
Yeah.
which is
Alright, so
kinda
where did we stop in the plot?
people dying because they go off separately.
yeah, okay. So, alright.
We stopped
this
David
is
Hasselhoff getting
really,
face hugged.
Which time?
this is really the last,
The second time,
this is really the last big, like,
heading into Act 3.
yeah, this is really the big, like, last poor decision, and then the rest of the movie just becomes pretty
captain.
linear.
The-
Pretty linear.
When Tennessee decides the whole argument about the storm going down.
Yeah, Tennessee decides to go.
2,000
Now,
miles.
okay, it's
No
reasonable that you want to get lower to the earth to get better communication signals. That's a reasonable thing to do. So he decides to go as low as possible before like becoming dangerous to the ship.
Oh god.
Okay, all right, it's fine. You establish communications. That's good. Oh shit, there were casualties. Let's go even lower. And it was like, but you already have communications. What does getting even lower do any for you?
Look, and I know that like everybody cares about their loved ones. I understand that.
Yeah.
But does anybody on this colony mission understand the gravity of 2,000 lives? A bunch of them are embryos, like basically babies. Just gonna throw them into the storm. Like, what do we?
I think it was 2,000 colonists plus embryos.
But I mean, it's like that's like a bunch of lives that you just
so
like,
many lives that are
after
on
this
your
point when
shoulders.
literally they've gone to this planet and everything's
Yeah.
gone to shit. Like, look,
Yeah,
I'm
at
sorry,
some
guys.
point-
Your wife is dead. Does she? You know, like.
I'm sorry, we lost so many of our crew. I'm sorry, you guys on the planet.
I mean, I understand they need a
You're
certain amount
fucked. Bye.
I know.
I'm not
That's the other thing that fucked me is like,
stepping on this planet.
it's like they have 2,000 people on the ship. Where's the backup crew? Like when
Yeah.
someone
Where's the
died,
backup crew?
why didn't they just wake up another two or three people?
You know what was a weird thing too? If you guys remember early on when they first got hit by the storm, they were like, our main system's okay, but all our backups went out.
yeah,
That's
that was,
really weird.
That's what
Yeah.
they had to get the sail reattached for, so that all their backup systems could come back
but
on.
it just like
Which is why
that's the point of backup
that's
system
the point.
exists.
If
Yeah,
the
their
main
main
system
system.
is fine, backups happen when main systems are
And I-
offline.
and I
So they didn't
honestly-
need their backups because their mains
And
were.
I know that their like computers messed up, but I think turning Mother off for like days to do a diagnostic, and they did that like twice in this movie, and I'm like,
did it at the end because-
stop turning off the computer.
well, David did it. David did it at the end.
But okay, Walter did it in the beginning. It just I don't
Yeah,
know.
Walter did it in the beginning
because he was like,
ordered.
"Fuck you, I'm the captain."
No, because he was ordered to by a douchebag
yeah,
that got everyone
because
killed.
the
By Billy
fuck you, the
Crudup.
captain, dude.
By sad captain, by PTSD captain. He looked like he was about ready to have a breakdown.
I know he looks really fucked.
He was about to have a breakdown since the movie started.
So then the rest of the movie becomes pretty linear from this point. I mean, they just kind of run from the aliens. Eventually, the space cowboy, Tennessee, as I would call him, he flies down with a cargo ship, and he picks up some dude. There's some fighting. Everyone dies except for the girl and both the androids. The androids have a fight.
Tennessee makes it.
no, everybody.
No. Everyone up to this point.
Okay.
Everybody
And then-
that was on the planet surface dies except for
Davis.
one
Davis and both the androids.
and
Yeah,
one
and
dude
then-
who got a
One dude who got
facehugger
face
attached to
hugger.
him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what his name is. He was gay Viking number 2.
Was he actually gay Viking too? I thought he was the Mexican one.
Was he
There was
Mexican?
one
Yes,
Mexican
Mexican
It
character.
was
guy.
Reyes.
Yeah, there was one Mexican.
Good job
no,
with
he was
remembering the
Mexican.
character.
It was old Cheekburn.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the one guy
Because
actually
he
gets
stabbed
spit.
because he stabbed a face hugger and it melted on his face.
I do have to say, I mean, I'm pretty good on my alien lore. I think that was a continuity fuck up because nobody that gets the acid spit in their face survives because that stuff in the first movie, you guys remember, ate through 4 decks of spaceship.
Yeah.
So no, he is.
Well, they put
the bandage on.
They put the med patch on.
Which might have been basic, as opposed to acidic.
Yeah.
It might have
I
canceled
don't think
out
it
the
was.
acidity.
If it was basic enough to cancel out the alien's acidity, then it would have had another reaction to the dude's hand that was touching it.
I'm just
The
saying.
dude that put it on was the
I did want to say, okay, maybe they have some special medicine that works. Maybe. Okay,
I think
but dude, the first movie it ate through 4 decks of spaceship. Like,
yeah,
it's
I agree. It was a continuity thing.
It's like really that guy's face is gone.
So
That guy's face, the
his
part
head
of
is
his spine
gone.
that's connecting is.
yeah, so like
I mean, if he would have cut it off at the tail, it would have just gone through his neck. So
the next big mistake I think was when the androids have a fight. They have 2 fights.
Martial arts jam.
There's 2 big fight scenes with them. I guess there's like the tension fight where it's really just one
Sexual
fight,
tension
where it's
fight.
like the sexual tension fight, and then there's one fight move where
Whatcha?
David kills Walter, and then David's like, well, Walter's fucking dead now, and he just does his thing and just tries to kill everyone.
But then they do an Android 16 versus Cell. There've been some upgrades. Have you
Yeah.
seen that fight, people? Great scene.
And then they have
he's
fight
like,
number 2.
I pierced your neck. That's where your neural net is.
Yeah.
Badass slow motion. Not in my design. Oh, body slam. Sorry to
Yeah.
take it back to Dragon Ball, but I was thinking about that when they
you're
did that
right.
fight.
That's
exactly
exactly
what goes through
what
my
it
mind. I
was.
was like,
But here's the thing, here's the
upgrade, new
thing.
model.
In order to get this plan to go off correctly, Walter had his hand melted off by alien goo. So in order to disguise himself, he was like, "Now that I've killed Walter, I must cut my own hand off."
Well, they didn't actually kill him. They didn't show it on camera. It was an off-camera thing. They tried to make it like a surprise, but it's like as soon as the android walked out of the thing, I was like, "Oh, that's just David."
Yeah, that twist was kind of obvious.
Because
They cut away.
well, not even that. I mean, there were 2 things. One, David still had all the cuts and stuff from this battle.
Mm-hmm.
It literally took minutes for Walter to recover from being stabbed through the neck.
True.
Why do you still have all his cuts and all that damage? And then the number 2 thing is they have completely different way of talking. Like the way they structure sentences is completely
Which is
different.
good acting.
The way that they carry themselves, which
Yeah.
is like a definite point to Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, it's definitely good acting there. I definitely
He did do true
Magneto
also.
did some
the
awesome
ability
shit
for
in this
you can
movie.
just be able to for the audience to be able to tell that difference.
When they pan down to look at him walking away with his injury, the arm was melted off to here, the hand was cut off at the wrist.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was very obvious.
There were definitely different wounds and stuff when they showed them, and one looked all melted and the one just looked burned and cut.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are minor things. I think, and then
In order for the plot.
and they had the big
to
fight on the
continue,
cargo
he needed to be
ship,
the winner.
and then your continuity error thing again. When they kill the alien, they explode the alien by crushing him, and they just put this crane back like it was fine. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
That crane should have been melted.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm like, that's a whole alien's worth of body acid. That should be gone.
That thing should be gone. Which was a cool idea to crush it.
And then, oh god, and then they took the balance off the cargo ship. I mean, they kind of acted out that it flew away, but it would have just crashed.
Yeah.
IRL, if you
Well, they crashed into the
misbalance a
giant
plane like
statue
that,
too.
they crashed into a bunch of stuff. Like they
If
should
you
have just
unbalance
crashed
a
in
ship while it's flying, it'll fucking crash.
It'll
There's
spin
no
out of
recovering
control
from
and
that.
crash and just break, and it should have exploded. I don't know. That was pretty bad. So they go, but it's fine because it's an alien movie and they have to get back to the mothership. So they go back to the mothership, and
The giant cock in
And
space.
I think-
Giant penis.
Yeah.
Gotta have a penis ship.
Yeah.
They're going to
the
go
penis ship, you
impregnate
have
the new
to.
world.
Exactly.
Metaphor.
Yeah, the semen, dude. You didn't get that. You didn't get that from the fucking.
I got it.
No,
shower
dude.
sex.
Dude,
That shower scene really reminded
Yeah,
me
that
of
was the
snakes
last.
on a plane.
That was the last bad decision.
have
The shower scene.
Why was that a bad decision? It's one to get intimate.
I mean,
One
okay.
guy and his wife. who's just a medic.
Was that
who's,
even his wife?
Who's just a medic.
But they have a critically injured crew member.
I like how she's like, I'm just a medic. You better be more than just a medic. You're the one person in deep space. You better be the physician.
I think this comes back to the maybe we should wake up a couple people to help us out thing. Like, there isn't a doctor somewhere in here.
There's like 6 of us left, and
just
one of them, their face is completely gone.
4.
Yeah, there are 4 of them.
4 left. The ship takes 15 people to run.
Like how? Why didn't they wake up anybody that would have been smart?
That's true.
Because in any expedition, there's always a backup team.
There's got to be a doctor somewhere.
They're running. There's always a ship's medical officer, and they're running on a skeleton crew now.
I think she exploded in a fire.
Like everybody else. Like one of the 40 that died.
I don't know.
Yeah, but where's their backup doctor? Her.
Yeah, and so the alien comes
their
through,
backup
kills
doctor?
both of them because they're just having sex.
That's really the only reason, because he's jealous. He wants.
They wanted to put a female nipple in the movie.
They had to, and I mean it was kind of like a weird tentacle scene. It was definitely like
the tentacle penetration.
I was really worried there for a second that it was going to go up weird. That it was going to be weird, but okay, it was okay.
I mean, his tiny mouth went through the dude's normal mouth,
and then she screamed.
Yeah,
and
died off screen.
And then they had to plan to space the alien and hit it with all the cars that they didn't use in the movie.
The tanks.
I mean, that was an okay fight scene.
That was decent. That was decently
some good
choreographed.
action.
It made sense. I don't understand how she didn't fall to her death. I don't know what she hooked onto.
I guess she just like hung on the side of the ship. Was she floating like on a cable outside? That was weird. Like,
they
I
don't
think she ducked into like a crevice.
Like maybe right before.
Why is there a crevice below the?
Well, you know how like when a door hooks in, maybe it's a little lower. You know,
I guess
it's the least bad thing.
She
drew me out of the
pulled
scene.
an Indiana Jones. Okay, when the boulder came by, she ducked.
She found a little crooked space and like
ducked.
Hey, I'm alive.
It was
and
fun.
the alien got impaled and went out.
You know, if Indiana Jones can do it, she can do it. I'm fine with it.
Whatever.
True. And then the twist.
Another twist.
Was actually David. Oh.
Yeah, and then they did the twist at the end when they talked.
And then David threw up
my cabinet, my cabin. Wait, David, no.
Why didn't he just say yes? Why didn't he just?
He just liked because David's evil. I've decided like he just liked the twist that like help me build the log cabin.
No, because he made a face.
He smiled a little bit like, huh?
No, he was like, yeah, he made it like a face
like,
when she asked about the log cabin.
What are you talking about? Oh, shit.
I thought it was a really good scene when she realized it was David, because you could see like her heart rate going up, like part of it from like, okay, she's starting to fall in love, and then she realizes it's David and is getting into like the 160s and shit.
It's not even like fear at first. It's like sadness, like David. Like no, you know, like
and then
he throws
up. Last big continuity thing I think was him vomiting up the baby embryos
for the face
just fit perfectly and were exactly the way that they were supposed to be for this huge fucking machine that he had nothing to do with. Or it could have possibly known about.
Do the face huggers require the same temperatures and everything that baby embryos do?
Well, I mean, no, he doesn't care about that. Like he'll just adjust those in the settings.
All right, fine.
But how do you get them to fit and get the
how to get it
right
into
goo?
All right, devil's advocate.
Here's the thing: did he always have those?
That's the question. But to be fair though, this guy is like a big bad guy because he's been
inside his body.
cross breeding, biologically engineering these things for years. So. Maybe he had a couple
because the fight kind of happened.
But how do you make the embryos? How do you put them together? How do you get them to the way they were supposed to be? When he was living in the Stone Age.
But remember,
did he find the time to put them in his body?
Remember though, that's true. But he has been using the alien ship technology though. Remember that.
Between the time that he had to kill Walter and cut off his own hand, he would have legitimately needed to rush to make it to the fucking thing.
You saw how fast he caught up to them.
He could have done it anywhere. Like there were a lot of cuts.
Yeah,
there was like that hour-long cut that he could have just done it in there.
I think we've established in a half an hour how many problems there are. I'll let this one go.
Yeah, there was a moment somewhere we were going to take it 30 minutes.
I'm going to shove these things down my throat just to be ominous later.
Just in case they get off this planet.
All right, well guys, I'm going to say, first of all, as a record for this channel, with you guys, this is the most detailed plot review ever. So now we're actually going to review the movie. Okay, John. No. I gotta give John some. Okay.
Yeah, John.
Now I know that it seems like there's been a lot of bashing
Oh no, I completely agree.
But I do want to hear what are your thoughts and just generally, obviously things we didn't like. Is there anything good about it? Because I am curious.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, like I said earlier, the art direction, the cinematography, the framing, especially, was really strong in this movie. I wish they did a lot more with the biological stuff, like the crossbreeding and everything. I think that was like a really interesting aspect that could have been explored a lot more, and could have been realized more fully. The plot made me angry. The characters made me angry.
Everything made you angry.
There was one continuity error.
What was that?
When the chick was grabbing the water samples.
Yeah.
She closed the container and then handed it to the guy.
Yeah.
Who then closed it again.
Fucking up.
Yeah, Kelly pointed that out for the rest of the entire movie.
I mean, I don't think it was bad, but I don't think it was good.
All right. Well,
it was
if you had to give it like a letter grade, what are you feeling? What sounds right to you?
like a C+ or a B-, I guess.
Do you think it's like okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Like,
all right.
if it's separated from the rest of the movies, I think it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
But it's not separated from the other
I do think you should definitely should see the first two Alien movies though, for real.
Definitely.
Should watch
I
them all,
do
really.
really
Well,
You should suffer through them all.
to be honest with you, I don't think this is the worst Alien movie.
No,
I mean, I've seen Alien Resurrection,
Yeah.
and if you want to count
the
the Alien versus Predator movies, AVP 2 is garbage.
AVP, that was a bad one too. That one was a cancer. I regret seeing that one actually. Now that I think about it.
Wasn't there an origin story for the aliens in AVP 2?
Actually,
Not 2. But
the first
as
one.
well.
The first one, kind of.
The Alien
Yeah.
versus Predator, they had
Well-
in that story, the Predators made them to hunt.
Yeah, well,
They
that's,
breeded them.
That's not necessarily like the origin. It's just like these things existed, and they took a bunch of them to hunt.
Yeah, and they collected them like they just
Which
had
is the coolest.
The queen, yeah.
The coolest thing about AVP is that
Yeah.
idea, but it's a PG-13 movie, which is like
That-
off the. It's a whole nother ball wax.
Yeah, how would that even fit into the storyline?
It does. It's a side thing. The Predators have their own thing, and like, hey, Xenomorphs, we fight them. Alien versus Predator, 90s,
Yeah.
basically. But okay, all right. Well, I'll move on to Nick because Nick, you went deep into this movie.
Yeah,
man,
I
so,
did. Okay.
But what do you really think about it though? With all those problems taken into account, he's thinking C+, B-.
I think all right. First off, my letter grade's just gonna be a C.
Okay.
I'm just gonna throw
Solid
a
C.
solid C. I think the movie looks great. The actors were what I would expect from an Alien movie. I mean, the plot was the problem. Like the story, actually the story is what didn't make sense. The plot is fine.
Okay.
Like the plot,
The
it was
general
there. It made sense. It was fine for an Alien movie. It's supposed to be like a sequel to a prequel. Like that was okay, but it's just the way they presented it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely some issues. I agree.
Yeah, it was it felt jumbled. It was like, okay, I'm trying to just figure out what they're doing, what is going on, and it's just in the end it came together, but it was it didn't need to be that way.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, I think I went over everything.
Yeah, you went pretty hard.
over
I'm gonna let Tiefling let some thoughts because I know that of all of us, I think he probably has the most negative feeling.
I legitimately love the first Alien movie.
It's good, right?
I think everyone does.
It's probably one of the best movies.
It's one of my favorite movies.
It's so good. I think what would have helped this movie a lot is because they were trying to recreate the first movie, I could see that throughout this entire thing.
Obviously,
Is if they took from its tone and pacing.
you know what though?
The
I agree with you. It's
atmosphere.
like
There was a lack of atmosphere,
And
actually.
practical effects.
Yeah.
Not seeing
They used a lot
aliens
of
as
those.
much.
there were a lot of practical effects, but the aliens were mostly CGI.
Yeah.
And, honestly, Tiefling, I agree with you. One thing that not really, well, actually, some of the older movies did, but from the first one that this one didn't do, was I'll be talking. Don't worry. Is that the in the first movie, one of the reasons it works so well is because it's very dark. They go onto the planet, you can't see it all. They give you beautiful landscapes. It's not as ominous as it could be, But yeah, I agree. Atmosphere definitely.
I think with the change in atmosphere, we could probably overlook a lot of these problems that we were seeing because it would have been
Scary.
We would have been scary and not laughing and nitpicking at the entire time.
The movie was funnier than it was actually.
I was
scary.
legitimately laughing every time somebody died because it was fucking funny.
Not every time. I was
There were a
laughing
couple
at the
scary
gore.
parts.
I was laughing at the gory parts. I was laughing at like.
I thought there
James
were
Franco's
shower
death
scene.
was fucking hilarious.
James Franco's
100%.
I'll give
That
this
was
movie
fucking
a solid C minus. Like
Dude's in the pod just like,
Wait, no.
the actor they used for that, I am 90% certain that it wasn't even James Franco.
No, I don't think it was.
It wasn't.
It wasn't.
I'm
All right, so
I'm done with
C,
C
this
C minus for Tiefling.
minus.
Enough of that. Bass Xevrix, we'll talk to you, then I'll talk briefly about it, then we'll end it.
This
We got B minus is the highest, C minus is the lowest. I think you liked it a little more than Tiefling.
this movie is a guilty pleasure, if anything.
Okay, so then that means you have to give me the real grade and then the guilty pleasure grade, which is allowed to be whatever you want.
The real grade is like maybe like a solid C.
Okay, but that has an asterisk.
The low end for a C.
the lowest end for a C before.
It's almost a D plus.
A C minus.
Oh, it's almost a C minus.
A
Almost
C
a C
double
minus.
minus.
Yeah, I'm gonna give this movie a straight C triple minus.
C
You
minus.
know how in Japan the scale goes up to triple S? Can I give this like a triple C?
And the guilty
This is the
pleasure-
this is the
guilty
most
pleasure
C
grade
a
is
movie
probably
could
like
get.
a B plus.
Okay, so you had fun watching it, but not for the right reasons.
Oh, because it was fucking hilarious.
Oh,
Like the only two parts that really made me like gasp were the two neomorph births. And
They
that
were
was,
kind of
like-
disturbing.
I was
Neomorph
like,
births
Oh,
were
God.
like the best scenes of the movie.
it made me laugh
yeah.
so hard though. But every time the little guys are introduced in the scene, I'm just like, oh, they're fucking
they're-
adorable,
I
dude.
need a Neomorph plush.
they look like
I do. I want one actually. Gotta see if there's one at Comic Con.
They look like Italian greyhounds. So they're super skinny. They're really tiny. They make really big.
They have this huge
They're
head.
adorable.
They have giant bean heads,
Cute.
but they're not. But their beans are. They have like little small beans, not the really long ones. So they got like little cute and compact and adorable.
and then you see him like you see David talking to the other one. It just looks like Slender Man.
It's just a big. He's a big softie that doesn't.
But he's
know,
got a big
he's
old
like,
sphincter
oh hey,
mouth.
He's
Yeah.
just got a big side. You can just bond with it like a horse. It's
hey,
fine. Just
hey
breathe
buddy,
in his nose.
I'm eating here. Do you guys want to leave while I finish eating this person? No, okay, just stand there and
I'm
watch.
just having some spine for lunch. What about you?
I'm just chilling. What's going on?
You know,
oh no,
it's
you guys shot me. That's not nice.
There's just a lady's head in the water supply.
Yeah, it's just floating there.
Fuck, man.
Didn't really care.
Just leaving the best
Yeah,
parts
but,
to rot.
All right, let me wrap up with
Fassbender
some
is
with some
still
thoughts.
the best part of
Tell me
this
how it
movie.
is. How's the angle?
You're good.
Too fast. All right. Well, I'll wrap it up, guys. You guys brought up a lot of points. Thank you for providing a very thorough review.
Oh yeah. dude.
No, for real. No, that was awesome. You're definitely right, though. As a horror movie goes, they made a lot of bad decisions, which is expected. Visually, though, I think it looked pretty good for the most part. I think there was some really good gore. I think there were some scary scenes, but there were also a lot of silly scenes to compact it. I thought that one thing you guys didn't really mention for me is I thought the pacing was off. Like the first 40 minutes of this movie,
boring.
I was trying hard not to be
Yeah.
bored. I'm
Somebody
like,
died in a pod malfunction
And I-
fire.
and I was-
That's how you
but
know the pacing's
that's
off.
like in the first 2 minutes, and then they want you to be really worried and sad about this character you don't know. And I'm like, she's sad, but I don't know her or him, so I don't feel anything.
Did you watch any of the trailers, Joe?
I watched one trailer. I'm like,
Was it the one with James Franco?
no.
That's why you didn't care.
I was like, no, I didn't hear that, Mark. I saw the first trailer, and so I knew about the shower thing, which was cool. But no, the one thing that I thought was worried about, which I remember Tiefling talked about when we saw the trailer, was when we saw the alien in broad daylight, completely shown. I'm like, that's a red flag. Like, if you show the aliens in full CGI out there in the daylight, it's never as scary.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
interesting looking, but far less
That anything
intimidating.
goes against their programming of being weird space fucking
Predator
demon
things.
predator ninjas.
Yeah, exactly. They're not.
They stick to the shadows, and that's what they've always done.
They're not as good at killing, which they should be. And no, really. But the thing I will say is positive is that the acting was decent for the most part. I think there were some interesting character things, like you had some conflicts, but it didn't go as deep into any of it as it could have. They just touched on some things just enough. Once again, David and Walter, most interesting characters. The whole dynamic about trying to overcome the creator, some really overt symbolism there, and the sexual stuff, and the penetration stuff, and the fear. It's all there. Classic Alien themes. I thought some of that was good. Explained why David was evil in Prometheus. I liked that, but it was still kind of bad because I'm like, okay, he was kind of interesting in Prometheus because he didn't get him, but now it's just like, okay, the robot went crazy and killed everybody because he's the devil and he hates humanity because one guy was an asshole's dead.
Walter alluded to it being a malfunction. At one point, he asked him who actually wrote. And
he actually had got the author wrong.
And he got the author wrong, and he was like one bad.
One bad cell could be a problem, and that's funny. That goes back to
note can bring down the entire orchestra.
Yeah,
that's true, and really, that actually goes back to one of the themes in the first movie with Ash. Who seems kind of conflicted when he's trying to kill Ripley. They've always been suggesting that these robots, they're really conflicted with whether or not they want to save humanity or kill them. Because of where they are in the chain. So, like I said, there were elements of the Alien plot and themes in here. But it's just a generic horror movie and that's the problem.
It's not even that. It's more like just an
action adventure, and an Alien movie, even Aliens, which is more of an action movie, was scary because they were in the dark, and
you didn't know what the fuck was.
And like with the exception of a couple scenes which involved a lot of gore and jump scares, the atmosphere wasn't there. You got to have the creepy atmosphere. So I thought it was okay. I didn't hate it. But I didn't love it. I'm leaving it with the C+, solid. So, it's a little disappointing, but it's not the worst Alien movie, though. I could say that much. But
Alien 3.
I kind of like Alien 3, but that's a discussion. I think Alien 4 is worse, personally.
Yeah.
Personally?
I agree. Alien 4 is worse.
But
I like to forget that Alien 4 exists, so we're not going to talk about it.
Well, Alien 4 is a cartoon, but,
Dude.
But anyway, yeah, guys, thanks for joining the review of Alien Covenant. Say goodbye. It's Dickey.
Thanks.
Nick.
Yeah, we got to close out on the Alien poster over there.
Nick. Oh, wait.
Oh, shit.
As Tiefling, Bass Xevrix.
If you're going to go see this movie, watch the trailer with James Franco first.
And as you can see, I got this at a Comic-Con a little while ago. It's actually a replication of in the original movie posters.
Oh,
so signing off, everybody. Stay magical.